What's good, people of the world? As you can see, I'm in a new location. I'm in my own studio apartment of or not. Not really big. It doesn't matter to me. But today we are going my topic for today is continuing to talk about the NBA and things that have gone down since free agency. And the last time I was able to get a video out was July 4th. And ever since July 4th, a lot of things have happened. And I'm going to just use my guy Shams and everything he's posted since July 4th about the NBA. And I might get to some NFL. But for the most part, from July 4th to today, we can talk about some things that have happened. Wow. Yep. Alrighty. So we'll start with last time I was on here, I was talking about my thoughts on teams. I'm pretty sure the KD trade, all that, and not really a beneficiary of that. You could say that to some sort. But Cam Whitmore got traded over a month ago to the Wizards from the Rockets. Let's continue. Jay Huff to the Pacers. That is something that I believe is a good move for them after losing a guy of the status of Miles Turner, who is an all-defensive player. Defense can stretch the floor. A guy who you never thought you'd lose. But Indiana, with Halliburton going down with injury, and that just reshapes your whole entire organization. And I guess Miles Turner was not trying to sit around, and he saw that Milwaukee opened up. But Jay Huff there is a good pickup. He can stretch the floor. He could be a solid starter for them. We saw him in good minutes last year on the Memphis Grizzlies. He loves that reverse dunk. I don't understand why, but he's a really good player. More notables. Oh, this was a big trade. I wish I was able to lock in over the summer with this stuff, man. But there's always an excuse for me, huh? Never consistent enough. But yeah, I worked a lot this summer, but that has nothing to do with basketball. This is a trade that I wasn't really confused about because, like, the Clippers have been, in my opinion, I truly believe that the Clippers have been one of those fringe teams. They just need health. They need depth. They need something. And this trade was an interesting trade, in my opinion. So Norman Powell to the Heat, John Collins to the Clips, Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson to the Jazz, and a second-round pick. So everybody's like, Tanner, what do you think about that? I don't really think. It's really, you either have a solid thought on something or a solid belief on something that's going on, or you don't. And I believe that Norman Powell, I don't know if in my opinion, I don't think he deserved to get shipped off. But at the same time, a guy like John Collins, who is a really good basketball player. And if you look at a team like the Clippers, who, like I said, they've always been in need of something. And with the rise of Zubac in the front court, you still got Kawhi, but you lose a guy in Norman Powell who's one of your 20-plus point per game scorers, but you still have a guy in James Harden. Like I said before, you got Brook Lopez, Nick Batum, and now, I'll get to it eventually, another point guard. But let me go back to this. Norman Powell to the Heat is pretty interesting. He'll be a good wing there. There's nothing that Eric Spoelstra won't allow him to do, I'm pretty sure, over there, because it's Eric Spoelstra, and if you can play, you can play. And the Heat are a team who've always are either contending or fringe, and they're never really a team that's like just trash because of their ownership. And the Heat is one of the most well-ran organizations the NBA has ever seen, from GM, ownership, player stipulations, things that players have to do to be a part of the team, and they just keep you in the mindset. And a guy like John Collins, who's a 16 and as of late on his Utah Jazz career, like 16 and 10, or I don't know if it's been 10. It hasn't really been 10 for his career, but like younger John Collins, him and Trae Young, he was basically averaging 20 and 10 on the Hawks. As of late, yeah, last season he averaged 19 and 8 on 53% from the field. And something that people don't realize about John Collins that he's really worked on is his three-point shooting. This season he shot 39.9% from the three, and he's a 4, and he's a high flyer. And that's what you need on a team. Everybody needs a team. Everybody needs a guy on their team, who can stretch the floor, who can catch lobs, who can play defense, who can rebound. And John Collins is one of those guys that, like, I know, like I said, Norman Powell, I didn't believe he deserved to go, but, like, it's a good addition. It's like an equal. It's like an addition by subtraction. You do what you do as an NBA organization, and you deal with it. Kyle Lowry, 20th season coming up, and he'll be with the Philadelphia 76ers. Not really much to say about that. Vet. He can actually still play basketball, just not at that same level that we've seen him back in the day in his Raptor days. Paolo Banchero. We were waiting on this. This is from July 7th, by the way, so a lot of this stuff is kind of outdated. It's not like I don't know about it, but I haven't talked to the people about it, and that's what I'm doing here. Paolo, 5-year contract extension. That could reach $287 million. This kid's really good at basketball. He's an all-NBA guy. He's an all-star. He's a superstar. In 5 years, we're going to hear Paolo Banchero's name, and we're going to be saying Paolo Banchero's name and the Magic's name, because I've really been high on them since they got Franz and Paolo, because those two right there can be like a Jaylen Brown and a Jason Tatum. Are you serious about that? Yeah, I'm serious, because you have a guy like Paolo who's 6'10". He can create. He can score the basketball. He can defend. He can rebound. He's a big man. He's 6'10", bringing the ball up the court, being able to break you down off the dribble, shoot threes, knock down threes, and not to talk about his mid-range game. He's just like he's a bully. And then Franz Wagner, on the other hand, is like his three ball isn't as consistent in his playoff drops. I might have to post a video on here one of these days, because I had people actually arguing, saying that Paolo isn't better than Franz, and I'm like, dude, you have to be trying to push an agenda at that point, because like I said, Paolo, I didn't say this, but Paolo is a playoff riser, and Franz has been a notorious playoff dropper since they're early in their careers. But that's just something to look at when you're trying to compare two stars on a team and two guys who are on supermax contracts. These two are. But like I said, they can be like a Jaylen Brown and a Jason Tatum. Two very talented wings, two-way wings who can do everything on the court. How do you lose with that? I am actually hoping to see that. I've been saying this for a few years now. They got the two guys. They just got to continue to add, and adding a guy like Desmond Bane. You still have Anthony Black, who's young, a 6'7" point guard who can defend, create. Still working on his offensive side, more so shooting-wise, but he can play basketball like very well. Even with a guy like Jace Richardson, my God, man. Shout out to Jace, man. Had a really good freshman year here at State. They can be good. I was about to say, I knew I already talked about SGA. getting a contract of 200 plus dang near whatever he got. That's what I'm going to say. Wizards trading Kelly Olynyk to the Spurs. More spacing for the Spurs. My goodness. I just don't have much to say. When you thought that, what was that? That draft class. This should be an easy. I don't know why I'm acting like it's the 2022 draft class. It's getting paid. Here's Chet Holmgren, one of the best young big men in the league. I don't care what you say. Chet's one of the best young big men in the league. He got a 5-year, $250 million contract. It could reach 250. People were talking about that. They're like, but he's not as good. But I'm like, at the same time, Chet is a unicorn. And he's trying to get back to how he was moving before that injury. And it just hurts that he had that injury because he still moves crazy, but you can see it's a little less. But once he gets back to full, I'm a Chet supporter. I don't care. He's a really good player. Yeah, D-Book got $145 million for 2 years. He does not care about winning anymore. One of my favorite two guards ever. But, he don't care about winning anymore. It's about the bag and numbers because Book, if you ever see this video, Detroit, bro, we needed you, man. We needed D-Book. But we would have had to give up everything in our power. And when you thought When you thought the Thunder were done spending money, they gave J-Dub a $287 million extension. What it could reach. You know what that equals? That equals $822 million between the three of them. Sam Presti is the greatest, bro. See, that's something one day that I aspire. I think I could do a lot of things when it comes to the NBA. I could be this, I could be that, I could do that. And I truly believe I could do a lot of things when it comes to basketball. But Chet, only 23. J-Dub, only 24. Shea, 26 at the time of that post. My goodness. Bro, and they drafted Thomas Sorber, bro. The Thunder. Yeah, Sam Presti's the guy. I have to continue to say this. Sam Presti's a legend. He drafted Kevin Durant. I watched a video today. Kevin Durant. Russell Westbrook. James Harden. The list since then, that's been Sam Presti. Was able to trade PG for Shea and Pitt. My goodness. Marvin Bagley, 1-year deal to the Washington Wizards. Shout out to him. Herb Jones with a 3-year, $68 million contract. Herb Jones is one of my favorite defenders in the league because he actually locks up and he's worked on his 3-ball over time. And he's just a very versatile player, and he's been hurt. Him and Trey Murphy are two guys on that Pelicans roster that I look at and I see bright spots. Well, I know we haven't really been able to see Zion, but they got young guys. We'll see. We'll see. And here's one. Isaiah Jackson. From Pontiac, Michigan, hometown. Legend right here. Just came off an injury. Was just in the city of Pontiac doing some great things for the community. Respect to him. 3-year, $21 million contract. And people might be like, Tanner, why are you talking about that? Only because he's from your hometown. No, you have to look at a team like the Pacers now. Losing a guy like Miles Turner. Excuse me. Losing a guy like Miles Turner is big. You need all the guys. Like Isaiah was actually a rotational piece at one point until he got hurt. So it'll be interesting to see his role on the team too. He's a high flyer, defender, energy guy. You bring off the bench, and that's what every team needs. Cole Anthony is a guy that if you could have just kept him, I know they had to trade him for Desmond Bane, but if Orlando could have just kept him on this team, he would have been a run in the second unit. I'm really high on Orlando. I really am. Hasn't really been much, as you can see. And here's one. Bradley Beal to the Clippers. Now, this is where this was July 16th. I personally started calling this the unction. The Clippers are the unction. Not the function. The unction. Potential starting five. James Harden, Bradley Beal, both old. Derrick Jones Jr., solid. Kawhi, old man. Zubac, actually a good five right there. This is one of the biggest ones right here, man. Amidst it being released or whatever, Damian Lillard. Back to Portland, man. Then this is where I had to be one of those. I didn't post anything. Excuse me. I didn't post anything talking about he ran back to the grind, but in my head I was like, dang, man, you ran back to the grind. And the thing is, the Blazers are on the up and up. And I don't know if we're going to see from Dame, but he's 35, still can play basketball, but that Achilles injury is going to really hurt him. And we'll see where he is when he comes back, but it's just good to see Dame. I know. See, there's some guys who are like, man, we leave home, but Dame said he had to come back home, and I have to respect it. Marcus Smart to the Lakers. That's something. That's interesting. See, the thing is, I'm acting like I don't know these things happen. Because, excuse me. Hey, I'm really yawning. I'm not even that tired. But, like I was saying, Marcus Smart to the Lakers. That's however you want to see it. Marcus Smart is still a very, very, very good defender, very good energy guy. But I don't know how he's going to fit in with this Lakers team. I don't know how he's going to do this. I don't know how he's going to fit in with this Lakers team. It's like the Lakers, I don't know. That's just every time someone says, what are your thoughts on the Lakers, Tanner? I don't know. I don't know what the Lakers are doing. Luka's about to have a crazy year, but, other than that, Bron's still there. They went and got Ayton. They got Marcus Smart. They still got Austin Reeves. You got Dalton Connect off the bench. But it's like, you're going to have to prove that to me. Chris Paul back to the Clippers for his final season of his NBA career. Chris Paul is a Hall of Famer, top 5 point guard in NBA history. But he's just one of the best losers. I don't know why I had to say that. But, yeah. That was the solidification of the unction. Adding 40-year-old Chris Paul to your team. And people are actually thinking that they're going to be. Next thing you know, the Clippers win the 2026 NBA championship, and Chris Paul gets his first ring. James Harden gets his first ring. Kawhi gets his third ring, and then we have to start having some uncomfortable conversations that I don't want to have because guess what? it ain't happening. So, Doug McDermott played basketball last season, and he is going to the Kings. That's a 40% shooter right there. 6'8", does it all. Kuminga still, oh my goodness. Even still today, this is in what? July 30th. They were talking about Kuminga and stuff, and I'm like, dude. Like, goodness, man. Back to Kuminga, dude. Know your worth, King. But at the same time, King, you got to feed the family somehow, correct? And you need to sign a deal. And I'm going to just leave it there, man. 4-year, $150 million extension from Mikal Bridges. Really good player. I mess with the guy heavy. What else can I say? Luka Doncic, 3-year, $165 million extension. Another, well, that's way different from Mikal Bridges, who is a really good 3-and-D guy, to Luka Doncic, who's one of the best basketball players we have ever seen. Talent-wise, scoring-wise, playmaking-wise, respectfully. Luka Doncic is now eligible for a projected 5-year, $417 million. My goodness. Now, this is where that's crazy. But this one right here, this deal sparked some controversy in everyone's mind because the Spurs just drafted Dylan Harper. Last year, they drafted Stephon Castle. What do those two have in common? Those two are really, really good young guards. And then they go and trade for, well, the thing is, they drafted Castle last year, went and traded for, they had CP on the roster, went and traded for De'Aaron Fox, and now you draft Dylan Harper, and now you give De'Aaron Fox $230 million over 4 years. Where's the direction you go? If in my opinion, I know no more Pop, but Pop would have probably ran Stephon Castle at the 3, and in my opinion, that's what they should do, but we never know. We never know, dude. It's like, but De'Aaron Fox is still good, so it's like, can you get mad at him for paying the man? Yes and no, and in my opinion, should have tried and went and got that first pick or something, because they had multiple lottery picks. Go get Cooper Flag or something, or go trade for somebody. Go trade for Giannis. You already drafted. It doesn't make sense to me. You already got Stephon Castle, who's really good, and who I think is going to be better than De'Aaron Fox down the line. But I don't think. I think that because that's genuinely what I think. But George Niang traded, short-lived for him on the Celtics. This is interesting. This is more recent. But Chris Boucher to the Celtics, and that we don't. He's one of those untapped potential guys. We don't know what he has in store. We don't know what he has in store. And Chris Boucher has been a guy who's been working his butt off. He's been a really good energy guy. Can do a lot of things that we don't know. So the fact that a team like the Celtics got him is crazy for the league. I don't really care because I rock with the Celtics now. But Javonte Green to the Pistons. Solid move, solid pickup. He can do a lot of things on the floor. Another gritty guy. Gritty. Amir Coffey to the Bucks. That's a Big Ten guy if you know who he is. Haywood Highsmith to the Brooklyn Nets, man. End of an era for Haywood, man. Shout out Matthew, Michael, my guys. But Matthew always talked about Haywood. And I wonder how he reacted when he saw they got traded from Miami to Brooklyn. But he's a good player. I rock with Haywood. So Marco Bellinelli retired. I got a couple more things on this one, and then I'm going to just rock it. I think that'll be good for today. And then I'll just continue doing more NBA stuff throughout the weeks because it's about that time. But if you truly look at it, these last two things are going to be stuff that happened recently, of course. One of these being John Wall retiring. The new generation will not know about John Wall. John Wall is a living legend, bro. His career was not that long, bro. And he still was able to accomplish so much in the East. Him and Bradley Beal being one of the best backcourts in the league. And then you got Johnny, Mr. 20 and 10, all really, I don't know. See, this is the thing. I used to be a really big John Wall fan because I actually couldn't tell you. I was a pretty speedy guy as a kid playing basketball. I could defend really good. I was fast. But yeah, he was an all-defensive team. I know what I'm talking about. John Wall was an all-defensive caliber player. And he was fast, and he could pass, and he could score the ball with the best of them. And he was just a very different type of point guard. Very explosive. Very flat-line explosive, though. Like, you know, when we think about the word explosive, we think about guys who can jump. Think about guys who can do this, and this, or do an in and out. John Wall could for sure do an in and out fast. And he could do an in and out rap. He could do a lot of things, but it was very crafty and quick. See, he was very quick. John Wall was quick and fast. There's a difference between quickness and speed. He had a combination of both, and he could jump and dunk on people. And that's what made him a different type of athlete. If you know what I'm saying, if you know ball. But yeah, John Wall, man, one of my favorite point guards growing up for sure. I used to want them John Wall Adidas, bro. Oh my goodness. I really used to want them Adidas John Wall basketball shoes, and I never got the guts to ask for them. But yeah, he came into the league. John Wall. My goodness, that efficiency. But he's an all defensive guy. So, and he was an all-star, and he was really good at basketball. His best season being in 16-17, where he was 7th in MVP voting, averaged 23 points, 11. He could pass the ball, and that's just something we see it, but like we don't see people that explosive nowadays. The closest guy we can say to being that explosive and being able to pass is Ja, and Ja averages 20 plus points, like 7.5 assists a game, 5 rebounds. So it's just something to look at. And John Wall was a guy that people were comparing like a De'Aaron Fox to. Me personally, I compared John Morant, but John Morant had that much more vertical. But John Wall could jump too, so it's like John Wall he just wasn't as explosive when it came to the verticality of basketball. But when it came to flatline speed and quickness, he was untouchable, dude. Him and D Rose really, because they could really. D Rose had it to where he could. I'm just yapping right now. Of course, but you know what I mean. D Rose and John Wall were two crafty, fast guys in their prime. And last but not least, Malik Beasley is final. See, he not being investigated anymore, but it doesn't help because like Pistons already had to move on. We needed to get some pieces. And now we look at this, and we had that money sitting there waiting for Malik, and that would have been our 45% shooting, three-point shooting guy right there. But we got to take what we got to take. You can't sign a guy who's being investigated for gambling on himself. But, yeah, other than that, man, that's my spiel for the day. Got to talk about the stuff that's happened within the last month that I have not posted. But hope y'all got some insights. I hope y'all get insight every time I post a video because that's just what I'm here to do. And I'm just learning to continue to, now that I got the spot, I can do this whenever the heck I want. And if you really watch the videos and I'm not doing this, get on me. My socials are somewhere. DM me, do that, whatever. But I'm just praying that I'm able to continue to do this at a high level and take off. And that's all I got for y'all today. See y'all whenever I see y'all next. I'm trying to just find topics to talk about, things to talk about, to just have content to be posted and be able to give you guys insight and analyses on these topics. So that's all for today, and peace out.